What's up? How's it going, bud?
Fucking fantastic. Good to hear your voice, brother.
You too, man.
Yes, sir.
How's it going? I see you were pre-gaming a little bit this afternoon.
I was just telling these guys I'm sitting here with the wife and with my bro Jay, and I was just telling, like, over the years I've done a lot of these, and this one I'm the most excited about because this is, we're talking about some shit so much bigger than us,
Yeah, absolutely.
And trying to fucking do something good and trying to be responsible, and so, yeah, I appreciate hearing your voice. I appreciate you letting us tell what's going on up here, man.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And you're in Grand Rapids, Michigan, right?
Correct, sir.
Right on. How is the quarantine stuff going up there?
This state is pretty fucked up right now. We've had, last I heard, over 3,100 deaths. We've known people who have died from this shit. We're in kind of a rough spot. Very rough spot, actually. And, working in the job that I'm doing now and whatnot, you're really seeing some, not just, obviously, the effects of the virus, but the effects of the quarantine on people, and it's pretty rough. There's some people hurting pretty bad up here.
And you're working the counter at like a gas station kind of bodega thing, right?
Correct, sir. We're working in a gas station liquor store, which I was just telling Casey about. It was like, my background. I worked as outreach and social worker and advocate and all that shit for like 10 years,
Yeah.
And trying to do the right thing and trying to help people. And it's so bizarre that doing that and staying in it, because a lot of people went into quarantine and that, and a lot of our workers went into self-quarantine, and I kept at it because that fucking, bullshit fucking gas station liquor store is some people's only food source in that area.
Yeah.
And even if it's fucking canned ravioli, that's their food source. The other thing, too, is, me and you both being people that indulge in beverages and whatnot, people need their fucking medicine.
Yeah.
And, it's been very interesting, too, and it's been humbling to a lot of people, and it is cool that, people do appreciate what we're doing and stuff, and it is pretty fucking dangerous because we've had people that we had as regular customers who now have died from this shit.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's intense. Have you changed, like, your, you have, like, a plexiglass in front of you and the customers now?
Right.
Has that changed?
Yes. Yeah, I put the motherfuckers up. I literally put those plexiglass things up. And we did that, and they extended the quarantine here, and we were masking up anyway, but I'm like, we're required to wear some sort of face mask, and
yeah,
we have a fucking abundance. I mean, my hands are so goddamn dry.
Absolutely.
From fucking sporting that fucking hand sanitizer on there, and yeah, I mean, we're taking all the precautions we can. But there are some people up there, like say we live in my area, the poor area. There's the buses have shut down. They can't afford Ubers, so we are their fucking source of food.
Yeah.
And they need their booze and smokes. We know that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so it's a rough time, but at the same time, it's what gets me, like I said, on a personal level is me. I mean, like, I can't. Some of these people come in, we fucking we give hugs, we give high fives, we give the bro hugs. We can't do that, and it's interesting to me personally how much strain that puts on you, not be able to touch people and love on them and shit. And
yeah, absolutely.
It's very, very, very bizarre time.
They are. Yeah, there's nothing quite like it. You were supposed to be out on the road right now, right?
No. Ours was June 18th to July 18th. And like I was just telling these guys, and I mean, my nature. If I fucking would have given to people telling me to quit or whatever, or trying to suppress music, the whole different stories.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be talking to you right now.
Yeah.
And my first reaction was, and it wasn't this horse shit hyper conservative thing, which you've seen how Michigan has responded so fucking pathetically.
Yeah.
You've seen the Lansing thing where I used to live, and them on the Capitals with their fucking guns and all that horse shit. And I didn't react like that, but my first reaction was, I've been working in the group homes, everything else I've seen, we've had to take virus precautions when shit broke out. And my first reaction was, okay, we're going to proceed as usual.
Yeah.
It wasn't aggressive or anything. I'm really, really on the fence now. And pretty much if like, one of the deciding things, if Courtney decides to cancel Heavy Rebel, which that most that very likely could happen, we're not doing this. The biggest thing, Kevin, like I was telling them, is this is so different than anything else I've ever,
Yeah.
The other thing was a fight for freedom of speech. The other things were where we're going to go forward no matter what. Fuck you. I know I'm right. This is not. I will not put my bandmates, who are my fucking brothers, my family. I will not put. The other thing is too, not just that. Just like you, bro. You know your family, man. You know I love you.
Yeah.
I don't want you or anyone else coming out and risking your fucking health and safety. That is so much more important to me than music. When I was a kid, it was like that was the most important thing, but my family is the most important thing, and there's no fucking way that if this is still a risk, that we're going to do this tour. We're playing it day by day, but I've been doing a lot of fucking research.
Yeah, June seems pretty soon to get back out there.
Say that again.
June seems like pretty soon to be doing multiple show.
Trust me, I'm really looking at it, man, and like, and not just been trying to do a lot of reading and my fucking layman ass. What the fuck do I know?
Yeah.
But I tell you what I do is, I'm like this fucking stupid cocksucker that's the head of this country, supposedly. I actually try to listen to people and know what the fuck they're talking about. And like Casey just told me here, we are right next to Spectrum Health Hospital, owned by old Betsy DeVos, which is a fucking
Jesus,
enormous, but it is a huge. Dude, this is a medical town. It used to be a furniture town and whatnot, and we have nurses, we have doctors that come in, and I question them about this, and I say, what do you think and whatnot. So I'm listening to them. I'm that new documentary that just came out on Netflix. That's coronavirus.
Yeah, I haven't watched that yet.
Well, see, I didn't know, 1918, because of H1N1, this country's been in quarantine before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they took the steps to it. They show how St. Louis took the correct steps. Now Philadelphia did not, and they did a parade and how much it fucked them up. And my just biggest concern, man, is, the wife here, she's got fucking severe asthma. You know? I mean, what the fuck if I brought that home to her?
Yeah,
she
absolutely.
Could fucking die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is Grand Rapids the capital of Michigan, or?
No, Lansing is.
Lansing is the capital.
And that's where you've seen all those stupid fuck faces doing a stupid fucking rant. And it's so fucked up, man. Like I always said, back in, when just how people politicize the weather. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because these fucking cocksuckers sit there and they, the Hannitys and the Limbaughs and everybody else say this is bullshit, not real. They deny something that's very apparent. I'm like, we have a fucking death toll. We have science. We have information. Why are you politicizing this?
Yeah. Well, it's like, do you think that everyone working in a hospital, because I certainly don't. The idea of the news overblowing something so the government can have more control isn't a crazy idea. I get that. But then you're basically saying that everyone working in these hospitals seeing what's going on is lying. And that's just not true,
Oh, that's absolutely fucking... I'm telling you right now, man. Like I say, once again, and for a place where I can sell people some shitty food and sell them their beer and whatnot, we also live right next to... You can look it up, Spectrum. This is a medical town.
Yeah.
And we work a quarter mile down the road, and I got nurses and doctors coming in here strung out of their fucking mind and seeing this and watching people die in front of them. And it is the idea that this is being minimized is fucking horseshit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's infuriating, really, because I had one young lady come in there, and I was like, doing the thing, how's it going? How you holding up? I was doing it to people, and she's like, not good. She goes, my aunt just died of coronavirus. I'm like, well, that fucking sucks. And she goes, yeah, she was a young woman, basically, or younger. She was in her 40s, she was diagnosed with lung cancer, and but it was controlled, right? She gets it within a couple weeks. She's fucking dead, and this girl goes, "I believe that this was fake." She goes, "I bought into it." She goes, "Now I know it's real." And also, here's the other sad part: they can't have a fucking funeral for her. They can't even grieve this, you know. So the toll and the psychological toll this is taking on people is like nothing I've ever fucking seen, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I've heard some stories of that where people are, someone's father's dying and they can't be in the room with them because, the transmission and whatever. So you're just basically in a room talking to people on the phone. It seems like a crazy way to
that absolutely happened. My bro Jay here, who's fucking, tighter than blood, toured with me fucking twice. We've worked bars together, booking shit,
He's a guitar player?
Say that again?
You're a guitar player?
Bass player.
Bass player.
Bass player Jay. And his stepmother went in with not coronavirus but cancer. Well, she had lost her hearing years ago because of a very odd thing. She was allergic to aluminum and lost it because of fucking deodorant. Thanks for poisoning us, corporations.
Yeah.
Another thing there. But she lost her hearing like 20 years ago. Well, his dad interprets for her. Well, he can't be there. And then they wear the mask over their face. So this woman is very sick with some very aggressive cancer, doesn't know what the fuck's going on, can't talk to her husband. I mean, it is a fucking heartbreaking thing, man.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hitting us close to home on all levels. And maybe that affects my opinion or whatnot. I never had that aggressive fucking opinion of this ain't real, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But I did have the idea that, no matter what, we tour. And that's built into me, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But this is different. This is not, this is something that affects everybody I care about, and it's beyond serious,
Yeah. And Michigan's kind of a strange place. Like, I talked to Husky last week, and him and Carolyn are down in Georgia, which is obviously conservative and very religious. Michigan's like a weird one because it's very working class.
Yeah.
But there's
like you got that union shit. I mean, because of the
auto
industry,
stuff,
the auto industries and shit. It's much more blue in that sense. Fucking, I don't know. Like, I got my ideas about. We've talked about government and stuff. I think. But I'll tell you what, when you elect fucking leaders and you buy into the government system, their job is to fucking lead. And I don't know anything, they can say what they want about this governor. She's trying to keep her people safe.
Yeah, there you go.
And she's doing the best she can. And not only was she doing what she thought was right, you had this fuckface, doing it's such a gaslighting thing, the way he demeans her. But she's standing up and she's doing what's right. And she's being a good fucking leader. In my book, beyond that, she put herself out there, has been called fucking all these terrible names, had her character defamed. I know about that,
Yeah.
She's standing up for what she truly fucking believes is right. I truly believe that. I don't think there's any fucking underlying thing, because if she really wanted to, further her political career, she wouldn't have locked us down for another, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I really believe she's honestly trying to do what she thinks is right, and she's facing horrendous adversity for it, and I think that she's we don't know what's going on. She don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's doing the best she can. Later, Todd.
Well, that's what a couple, you see that with a couple of the criticism of that, like, Fauci dude is like, oh, well, not as many people died as you said were going to die. Well, is that because of the precautions? Is that because of the precautions, or is it because, like...
Well, I mean, if you look at the research shows, and he, again, like I said, here's a guy who served under fucking 6 different fucking presidents, and has been a doctor longer than me and you both been alive, basically. Yeah. And saying, he goes, the way that this virus works is when you think it's starting to flatten out, that's when the fucking shit spikes. So people are like, oh, okay, that's fine, and then shit spikes. They showed that with the H1N1 back in 1918, and, I said St. Louis locked down. They were doing good. They reopened. They seen a spike. They locked down again. They waited till November. Started in spring. I mean, it took months to do that. And quarantine is the most primitive way of doing this, but that's because you have no treatment.
Yeah.
You know, you have to do it.
Or testing. Like if testing, you could test yourself every morning.
Yeah.
You know, then you could go have a workplace where you test everyone before they come in to go to work. But that's just not available with this. You know.
Well, and beyond that too is like this. They you know, you look at something like SARS, very aggressive, kills lots of people. That is basically, they say, only contagious when you're showing symptoms. This one, when you're incubating for fucking 21 days.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, you can spread it around. Not only that, but it's tough, and it can live on surfaces, you know?
Yeah.
And I honestly think, Kevin, I was going to tell you, we got off tour in December, and I was so fucking sick, I went into the hospital here in Michigan. So listen to this, a personal testimony. So the year before that, I went in, I busted a rib somewhere along my interesting life I've lived, and it rubs on my fucking left lung, and I've got scar tissue on my lung, right?
Yeah.
That compiled with a fucking terribly unhealthy lifestyle has caused me lung problems, right? So the year before that, I go in the hospital after tour, sick as fuck. Fucking went into, I had a sepsis. I was fucking very critically ill, and that was in 2019. 2019, do that. I had to be quarantined then, and they did the swab test on my nose. Turned out I had influenza, right? Sick as fuck, quarantined, whatever. Pumped me full of antibiotics, sent me on my way, actually healed up. Same shit happens when I come off tour in December this year. So now we're in 2020. I'm sick as fuck. I was at work, doing the same shit, and my coworkers, who I love very much, very awesome people, and they're all women, so they kind of have to mother me because I'm a fucking idiot. And you know, they're like, you're like, one of them literally drove me to the hospital emergency room. She goes, your ass is going in. Well, I went in with the same symptoms, right? Well, I had to wait for 2 or 3 fucking hours. I've never seen a waiting room. Now, mind you, this is January, Grand Rapids, Michigan, that is fucking out the door to the point they had chairs lying out of the waiting room to the hallway.
Wow.
And everybody's hacking and coughing, and I'm coughing my fucking brains out, and they made me wear it. She's like, you need to wear a mask. Put a mask on. Well, I go in, and this doctor, she's a very good doctor, and I'm telling her my symptoms. She goes, we have never seen a flu season like this, but we keep doing the swab test, but we're not coming up with influenza.
Oh,
okay?
Okay.
And I'm sick as fuck. And they do the swab test. They go, well, you don't have the flu. I'm like, well, this is exactly like last year. The difference being was they talk about that suffocating fucking feeling in your chest. I had that where I couldn't fucking breathe. I'm having to use Casey's inhaler because she's got asthma. And it's this really fucking dry cough where you're coughing your fucking nuts off, but you're not hacking up shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, anyway, they gave me a bunch of steroids, a bunch of cortisone, and I got through it. So I'm telling you, man, I'm pretty goddamn convinced I've already had this shit.
Yeah. Huh. And that's an interesting thing. I think because of the lack of testing, you know, as far as like reopening stuff, if you could test people and figure out who's had it already and who hasn't, it'd be easier to like have a plan towards opening back up again, you know?
Yeah, it's basically just fucking, I mean, like I said, I've never been one to fucking follow anything the government says or anything anybody's told me. But when it comes to my fucking family being safe, man, it's a totally different ballgame for me. And like I said, I've seen what it's done here. I've seen what's done to people, and we've seen death. We got people that we know and folks who come in, you know, who these homeless dudes will come in and fucking, I'm the only person they talk to every day that gives a shit about them, and we get them their, you know, their tall boy natty daddies, and now they're fucking dead, you know?
Yeah.
So.
It's brutal. Have you been playing any music during this? You writing any songs?
Dude, see, and there's a weird thing too, man. It's like, you know how it is when you're on the road and doing the life we live. You know, I've fucking spent so much time living in a fucking van, cramped on top of people. And, you know, you basically eat, drink, shit, piss, fucking shower together, essentially, if you ever shower.
Yeah.
And then you're in a bar every fucking night, so you're surrounded with people, blah, blah, blah. I'm very lucky to be quarantined. Like, you know, me and the wife obviously love her very much, and more than anybody, and we get along. Jay and Delaney we're with them in the same house, so we all quarantine together, obviously. And it's a very much a family atmosphere around here. And yeah, we've been more than anything, the way I write a lot of times, I just fucking, pace around the middle of the night and talk to myself and chain smoke and drink. And so I got a lot of shit that's stirring in my head. But yeah, we got a 4-track recorder, and we've been doing a lot of stuff that's...
Oh, nice.
That at the moment it's not... It's weird. I don't know how you write, but for me, when I'm at a point of stress, I write a lot of shit. The shit that's coming out of me right now is actually stuff that's from years ago.
Yeah.
So this stuff will probably come out years later.
Yeah.
Because that's just my process, and so yeah, it's been creatively, it's been really cool, and there's been a chance to step back. Like you said, I'm fat as fuck because my old lady's a hell of a cook, and my housemate's a good cook. So
I saw you grilling up something the other day, right? No, you made something.
So we've been grilling. Yeah, I'm not like you. I know you're a motherfucker of a cook, man. I've had your food. You don't downplay it. You're a fucking beast in the kitchen. But yeah, they've been teaching me that. You know how I am, like just like this. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Teach me something.
Exactly.
And the more the way of the world, and I'm going back to the country boy roots. I've been doing some landscaping on the side, and we're getting ready to work on this garden shit, like trying to be more self-sufficient in the middle of a fucking urban area.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there are some definite positives that's come out of this. There's, like I said, and I say this, and I hope it's going to sound cracked, and it's going to sound whatever, but one thing I do enjoy, I will fucking go as far as say that, is I see these people come in, for instance, and we all know them. They got their fucking big fucking 250, and they're living in a house they can't afford, and they're working a job, and they think they got themselves set, and they treat fucking poor people like shit. They think there should be a wall built and everything else. I really hope this is a fucking humbling experience to these people.
Yeah.
And they realize that fucking, this is not the way to treat people, and motherfucker, you are not better than anybody at any point. If you thought you were, that's all been taken away from you. You fucking do not have it made, and you need to fucking start to have a reality check and realize, don't treat people like shit. Fucking, we need to look out for each other. If we had a better fucking healthcare system, this might not have happened, because people would have went to the fucking, doctor at least and realized that they were sick. I don't know, but the selfishness and the fucking greed has helped perpetuate this, that, and this anti-intellectual shit.
Yeah,
we're
absolutely.
listening to a fucking idiot, who doesn't know jack shit. Listen to people who are educated and experienced. Don't appeal to this nonsense, man. I mean, there's certain people that won't, and we got these fucking morons here. And I will say that I think that the pricks on the Capitol with their fucking Trump flags and their fucking guns and shit, that is definitely a minority. It's not representative of everybody here, but those people, they'll never fucking listen, so fuck them.
Yeah.
But hopefully some people come around. Like I said, I came around more to realizing that, I'm very much leaning toward, we're not going to do, June and July, especially if Heavy Rebel goes down. I just do not want to put the people I care about in jeopardy. I don't want to put my band in jeopardy. I don't want to have people I know and love who, all over the country come out to our shows and risk getting fucking sick and getting, the consequences of that. So that's where I'm at right now.
Absolutely. And I think it's interesting that you see, these dudes making minimum wage, or, these people making minimum wage working in grocery stores. That's what's holding everything together right now.
Right.
Without that, people would panic. That's where you have that, doomsday prepper, you have to eat a bag of fucking rice for the next 2 months bullshit. But you working at the fucking bodega, the bodega workers are keeping the shit together. Yeah. It's not the people that, it is people that have been looked down on, or who are at the lower, end of the earning spectrum, that are literally keeping shit, together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's definitely been, I'll tell you, man, there's definitely been a humility to that. Like you said, I mean, I come from a background, and I don't swing my dick around, but I've got college fucking degrees. You know what I'm saying? I went to school. I'm fucking quote unquote educated person. I work the job I work so we can keep playing. You know, I can disappear for a month and a half and do that. So this one fucking dickwad down in North Carolina with the glory of the social media was literally saying like, a grown man and almost 40 years old selling beer and say like it's like a demeaning thing that I fucking work in that industry. And I'm like, well, for one, who the fuck are you?
Absolutely.
To judge me? And two, like I was brought up by my grandpa, a fucking proud fucking World War II vet. He always said, he goes, whether you're the fucking president of the United States or whether you're shoveling shit, you do the best job you can.
Yeah.
And I know this too, prior to this, man, that like I said, I work with people that are destitute, homeless, poor, and for fucking 30 seconds I can treat them like a fucking human being. You know? And they come back in just to fucking have somebody be nice to them, give them a fucking smile, make them fucking, joke around with them. So, yeah, fuck face. And the rest of people think like that. You can fucking suck me off because, your place in the world is to judge people and you're a miserable piece of shit. I live a great life. I got friends like you across the country. I got an awesome fucking family here. And, this is our chance. There's a lot of people really scared where I work, and there's people that ducked out, Yeah. But we also know that fucking it is a sense of pride where we're like, if that fucking place were shut down, that whole neighborhood would not have a food source.
Absolutely. And that's a crazy thought, and that's where people start to panic. That's where, shit starts to get a lot crazier than it actually is right now,
Absolutely, man. We've seen, and like I said, and I'm not saying because she's my old lady, but like, people, they had so many people sick at Casey's work, and she is a cook at a facility for, a retirement facility for
Jesus,
people that are hurt,
Yeah.
And she fucking went, there's like a battlefield promotion where she locked down and had to stay in that facility for days.
Yeah, and, wow, holy shit.
Yeah, she had to sleep there, couldn't be with me, couldn't be there, didn't know what the fuck was even going on in the outside world. I mean, they worked her fucking, 16, 18 hours a day. She went from cooking all day, which that's a hard fucking job.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
To go into fucking having to give these people meds, fucking put them in bed, wipe their fucking ass. She took care of these folks because she actually gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, again, service industry worker doing that for, just because she stepped up, just because she's got a fucking heart of gold. And, that's what it's fucking about. I mean, if people go ahead and, I get judged all the fucking time, that.
Yeah.
But I know who I am, and I know fucking what I stand for, and I know who I care about. So, fuck these people, man. And we are putting ourselves at risk, but we fucking need to do this.
In honor of that, I have a bunch of these pictures set up for the whole like online thing. I have the one of you with her butt in the Red Hot. So we'll put that one up next as the
Well, that's the thing too. They attack the character. I'm like, hey, I make no bones about who I am. I like to fucking drink. I like to fuck. I like stimulants. I like fucking loud rock and roll. I like pussy. I like red bloody meat. That's who I fucking am. I don't. What are you going to come at me with?
Very true. Very true. What the fuck was I going to ask you about?
How are you doing, by the way? I'm sorry we've been talking about this shit. How are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm pretty good, man. This honestly has affected me. My life was weird before this. I was like a barely employed dog walker, kind of focusing on trying to write some songs and, do some art shit. So now I'm doing deliveries for the Anchor, so I'm actually working more now than I was before this happened. This has made my life more normal, and I kind of feel guilty about it a little bit,
I know that feeling, man. And when I say the shit that I say about people getting humbled, I feel so fucking sorry and so bad that people are suffering.
And when I first started doing the deliveries, I was like, am I doing something fucked up? Am I like just spreading this shit around or whatever? And we're delivering booze. We're delivering booze too. Okay. So there's a lot of nurses and shit. So like, I'll bring a cheeseburger and a fucking quart of margarita to this nurse that just got off work, and people they're thanking me. Like people that are working in the hospitals are thanking me for, I'm glad that you're still, this restaurant's still open, and I'm still have this ability to get this stuff. So that made me feel better about it, But
yeah, you're good. You're a fucking good man. I know your heart. I know the way you treat people. I know the way you treat people that come through town. This does not surprise me at all. I'm fucking proud to call you a family member, man. And it's
Right
cool.
on.
You're doing the right fucking thing. And like, our nurses come in there and they get their fucking beer and their smokes. One woman told me, she's like, "You're my favorite person," because I always try, like, I was just joking around with her. I'm like, you're essential, and we're essential workers, or whatever the fuck they call us. I'm like, you were far fucking essential prior to this. And she goes, you make my day every day.
nice.
And just to fucking joke around and have some fucking, have some levity to this horrible situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some fucking humanity, man. It's like, I've been preaching this for fucking years. And I really, unfortunately, I know we're going to go back to a lot of our fucking greedy, selfish shit this way, but hopefully people fucking remember this and remember the struggle and remember fucking, being in a place where they don't know they're going to pay their rent or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the positive thing and that sounds bizarre and sounds crass, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Like get a fucking reality check, man. This goddamn economy and this country that you fucking want to salute the flag to is a paper fucking tiger. It's an alligator with no teeth. Every cliche I want to say.
Yeah.
I mean, they're giving us money to pump money back into it to try to keep it alive.
Yeah. And even that, like, here in New York, we have like Cuomo is like an interesting, he's like a Democratic governor, but he's very authoritarian,
Yeah.
It's like a weird, very anti-gun, whatever. But he does daily press conferences during this, and people have started like really falling in love with him because he compared to Trump, he like actually says, he's using facts, and he tries to calm people down and make people assured, and rather he's not just go all fucking wild.
Yeah. I mean, he's shown a lot of humility, and I think a lot of humanity during this, and they talk about how he literally knew, they had to do that thing where they basically had to intervene on old fuckface that you need to show me appreciation and respect to get your money. That ain't how this works, bitch.
Yeah. But he did at the same time. He was like, "Oh, well, I'm appreciative for what you've." He capitulated a bit, towards.
He had to. No, that's what I was going with this, Kevin. Is literally he knew he had to like fucking. He did it for the right reasons. So but this is coming from the fucking most fucking person who was, But I know what he was doing, and he talks about that how he basically had to fucking say, "Yeah, this guy's great. He's right, blah blah." For his fucking people, and he did the right thing, and that's one of the only times in life I've ever seen somebody do that and have to humble themselves, but for the right fucking reasons. Like that's a leader. I mean, that's a leader, and that's somebody who cares about their people. I think he generally does.
Yeah.
I know that the governor here. I don't know anything about her besides the fact that she's trying to do what she thinks is right. We all don't know what the fuck is right.
Yeah, exactly.
But she's trying to do what she thinks is right, man.
And that's the hard thing, in my opinion, about how like polarized everything is. It's like if you say, fuck Trump, then that means you support the opposite. If you criticize Joe Biden, that means you're supporting Trump. That's not true.
Right.
Like Joe Biden, he's a fucking rapey old dude. Like, the lack of ability to have opinions in between, or
I call it critical thinking.
Exactly. I think that's an issue that has definitely been a problem.
Yeah, I mean, and then if you look at hopefully this, just the denial shit. Is denial of science because of this weird alt-conservative shit, this weird hyper-religious shit, fucking racial fucking prejudice. We all know about that. I mean, it's just, you look at, we could talk about this fucking forever, but we know what's happening, and we know why these fuckers are rallied so hard. It's just, whatever these people say, there's no fucking sense of critical thinking. There's no sense of like, well, maybe no. Because if I do this, and all of a sudden I'm this pussy liberal fucking blah blah blah. No, this is science, you fucking idiot. You know. I mean, this shouldn't be politicized.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
And it's fucking despicable to me. That part disgusts me. But, you know, I'm trying to say, I want to really stay positive and leave this on a positive note, saying that I've seen some people come around. I've seen some people humbled. I've seen some beautiful shit. We have this group of folks who all this food was going to spoil because we had, you know, this is a huge service industry town, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, Jay and Delaney I live with, they got cut off back like March 15th. You know, couldn't get their unemployment, everything else. And there's a group of folks who said, whatever you need, they gathered up the food from the restaurants and started delivering that to service industry people.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
On their own fucking dime, no gas money, no nothing.
Wow.
Just did it.
That's fucking
And that's pretty fucking beautiful to me, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting down to that level, that critical level of basic needs. You know, I did this when I was an outreach worker. I delivered fucking food baskets to homeless and poor people. Why?
Yeah.
Because people didn't see them, didn't want to see them, everything else. Now those people are on that level.
Yeah.
And the folks who didn't think they ever would be, and I fucking hope it's a wake-up call, man.
I saw something that you posted where I think you were talking about how a lot of people are going to come out of this. A lot of people are now drinking in the day. It's almost like touring, you know, like where time doesn't mean anything,
right.
and everything blends together, and you start drinking at weird hours to cope with shit. It's like,
right.
So you know, you're gonna have a lot of like home office workers coming out, you know, with the same drinking habits as touring musicians. It's not necessarily great.
100%, 100%, man. And like I said, we know what we are, and we know what we do, and you know, and we also know how to fucking do this and function. I guess you'd say, sort of.
Yeah, maybe.
But these fuckers, I've watched. We were just talking about this before you called. You know, the decline in people, and I've watched these folks who come in normally getting their morning coffee or coming in and getting a fucking 12-pack of Labatt's, and it's. You know, if there's one thing I know I know the fucking psychology of addiction and alcoholism, as do you.
Yeah.
You know? And they don't realize that if you start doing this, within fucking a couple weeks, your body becomes dependent on alcohol, even if you're not getting fucked up. And once you go back to work, you're going to start having withdrawals. You're going to start fucking, you know, I guarantee you there's going to be people drinking to fucking work on their breaks and shit who were not before. So that's another fucking issue that's, you know, I know that. You guys do you. And when you start doing that all-day drinking shit, which these people are now doing, which never thought they would do it, just like the homeless folks, you know, just to, you know.
Yeah, nobody thinks that, like, they're, exactly, you know.
You don't intend to become an alcoholic.
Exactly.
No one strives for this, you know. But you know how it is. Your body, you know, alcohol is an interesting drug where not only does it release the endorphins and dopamine and everything else in your brain, you know how it is. It spikes your fucking blood sugar. That makes you feel better. You know, so it's the physical addiction of alcohol is so fucking so harsh and it's sneaky. And I'm seeing people I'm watching them fall into that, and it's very alarming.
Yeah. You originally are from Nebraska, right?
Correct.
And that's where
and real quick here, let me say that governor there is the biggest fucking jerk off. Pete Ricketts.
Okay.
You might as well, him and fucking Trump, fucking 69, I'm sure of it. But anyway, go ahead.
I haven't heard shit about the governor of Nebraska. I guess it's not very.
Pete Ricketts, he's a fucking prick with ears, is what he is.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But you did social work back in Nebraska. That's like when you were much younger.
Yeah, I did. I was an outreach worker. I did street outreach for 5 years, and then I actually, in 2009, the Obama administration, they released billions of dollars to homeless education. I was a part of writing a grant, then I became the homeless liaison of the Lincoln Public School District, which is a district of, at that point, like 37,000 kids and 60 buildings. So I was in charge of all that shit. I was on the governor's commission for human trafficking. I'm not saying this to...
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's interesting, and I think that's an interesting thing to talk about, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just I know my shit when it comes to that, and I've watched. I also, you know, I was a part of a program we were the first, and it was after I was gone, of course, because it took years. But but we were the first city, we being Lincoln, Nebraska, to end veteran homelessness. So, yeah, I worked directly with tons of homeless youth and tons of families, and was very proud of what I did.
And like, what led you into that kind of work? Like, I mean,
well, I'm gonna give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count.
yeah. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I am that.
Yeah, just compassion for human beings. Yeah, that's.
No, not so. I mean, that too. Obviously, that. I mean, I don't know. That empathy, I think, comes from where I come from, man, and being a fucking survivor of abuse, and being somebody who has struggled with substance abuse and has been homeless, and fucking dyslexic, learning disability kid, growing up in a hyper insane conservative area, which is so fucking crazy to me.
Lincoln, Nebraska, you're from?
Yeah, I actually grew up outside of it. I grew up, I went to a fucking one-room schoolhouse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, kindergarten through 8th grade, out in a fucking cornfield. I grew up on a farm, and then went into Lincoln. I mean, my graduating class in high school is 26.
All right.
So, and then here's me with my fucking blue mohawk and painted fingernails and fucking spikes, and yeah, you can imagine I stuck out like a sore dick.
Yeah, what was St. Chris listening to in his senior year of high school?
A lot of Minor Threat.
Oh, fuck yeah.
A lot of old school Misfits.
What year did you graduate?
A lot of Dead Kennedys.
What year did you graduate?
1999.
Nice. All right. Fuck yeah.
So, I mean, I went back. Actually, I went because 99, think of the late 90s, a bunch of fucking rap metal shit.
Yeah, new metal, yeah. Especially out there. Iowa is pretty close to Nebraska, and you had the whole, the Slipknot, that was later, I guess, but...
Yes. Oh, yeah. We played around those guys and stuff. Oh, yeah. I mean, that was... And we started playing, and motherfucking Saints was 1997 when that started, so I started playing bars on 16 years old.
Fuck yeah. I tried to find the motherfucking Saints song, but you guys aren't... I couldn't find the motherfucking Saints on Spotify.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Is there a Spotify channel for them?
I thought. I mean, there was.
Some stuff is just hard to search, Yeah.
I try not to sit around and listen to my own shit, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, how's that? Do you have a way if people want to get your music? Do you have you have a Bandcamp?
Yeah, I mean that was all set up through East Grand Records in Lansing. I honestly don't even know that shit. I just always tell people. I know it's on YouTube and whatnot. Yeah. I always tell people that's free, so I'd rather have more people listen to it. I think that the shit that I was writing there, once again, it was so reactionary to where I was from, and it's really bizarre here that these fuckers try to paint me as like this ignorant fucking redneck from the sticks, and just where I'm from does not reflect who I am, but that's laziness, and that's
absolutely
what they do to.
I think I can't remember the song, but I think there's a song where you drop like an N-bomb, and I think that like really puts people's hair up on their back. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and they don't listen to the whole context.
Exactly, I know. But
and they don't realize that was a song that line was inspired by a woman who I love very much, named Irene Prince, who is currently working on her doctorate. She's a black gay woman who is a minister, a cancer survivor, a fucking veteran. She gave her not only her blessing, but encouraged me to fucking use the language of that song. And if you listen to the whole line, it's to say that, I mean that same language is used by the fucking Dead Kennedys,
exactly,
or Patti Smith, and I'm not, and I wasn't doing it for shock value. I wasn't doing it for fucking. The reason that all came up, and we've talked about this, is the fucking girl that actually played on that song on the album had a grudge against me and turned it into I was a fucking Nazi, and people are stupid enough to believe that shit. Fuck them,
Well, that's kind of the issue with like the internet, and like I think it's not going to be when the robots take us over. It's not going to be like Stephen King said, where the trucks and lawnmowers are going to kill us.
Yeah,
it's just going to be bots on the internet are going to make us all kill each other, and they're that's how they're going to do it. It's like
I mean, if you watch. I'm a big fan of Rod Sterling and Twilight Zone.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And like you watch what's happening, and they always thought, or you read fucking George Orwell's 1984, you read A Brave New World. They make it sound like the totalitarians are going to come in and fucking do this, that, and the other. No, they did it we're doing it to ourselves. They invented, I don't think they realized what they were doing when they did it, but, it's just like the cops. They're like, dude, we love social media.
Yeah.
People out themselves,
Yeah.
and these people, like, this whole jump on the bandwagon and villainize somebody. I'm like, as that one fucker told me in 2016 when they kicked me off a fucking fest that I actually helped start years ago.
Yeesh.
He's like, well, we can't have any bad press, and since Trump, all the liberal artists have been cutting each other's throat and going after each other. I'm like, well, then they fucking win. The people that have really fucked me over recently are not Trump supporters. They are these fuckers that want to have this high and mighty, bizarre. We've talked about this all before, and it's like, dude, the bottom line is, see, that's why we kept going. There's times where I was like, I wanted to put this act in and do something else, but I won't quit. Fucking, you keep fucking with me. If they would have quit fucking with me, I'd probably quit and we'll move on to something else. So it's more detrimental to them than me,
Well, that's the idea of the critical thinking, and you can't, like, that's what, if Joe Biden gets elected, maybe it's better than Trump, maybe it's whatever, it is what it is. But,
frightening. It's equally as frightening to me.
But then you have to be very critical of him from day one, because you don't want him pushing. Like, I don't think Trump is just like this. He wasn't like a hurricane or a tsunami that just happened to us. He happened for a reason, and I think that's what people don't realize,
Absolutely, and if you dissent with what this fuckhead says, well, I bet you like Hillary. I certainly do not.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I bet you're an Obama supporter. Absolutely not.
Exactly.
The motherfucker was an absolute war hawk. Fucking, profited so much on fucking the drones and all that other crazy shit that he did.
Well, and even
fucking better.
Like, how many homes got foreclosed in Michigan?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So instead of bailing out the banks, if they would have just paid off people they spent that money, if they would have just paid off people's mortgages so people stayed in their homes, I don't think you would ever have a Trump. Trump never would have won Michigan if people didn't have their homes foreclosed,
Yeah, and I said that, with this whole fucking, they talk about giving people $2,000 and then another $1,000. For one, inflation, hello. What it's going to do is drive the cost of everything up, and then when this money disappears, we're going to have this fucking inflated fucking shit where money means so much less and costs are so much more. There's that, There's that one thing when it comes to that. The other thing is, like, we were sitting here talking yesterday, Jay and Delaney we're like, how about instead of doing that, how would you start working on pay the rent, mortgages, really, the fucking utilities, look at that kind of stuff instead of like, okay, we're going to throw you a bunch of fucking money and then we're going to cut it off,
Yeah. Well, that's the interesting thing for me. Like I said, I was a barely employed dog walker, so I was like kind of used to living on a very skint, I live on nothing, so it doesn't affect me as much. Like someone else, $1,200 might not cover much. For me, I'm barely living on, I'm living on,
We're balling.
Yeah.
We're buying a little better whiskey and we're eating better.
Yeah, I don't want to, I'm not bragging, I'm not trying to brag like a rapper about it, but,
No, it's not that. I know you're not, but you you see what I'm saying. Like, it's I say that, again, sarcasm is lost on people because of the fucking lack of intelligence, but fucking lack of better words. But, you look at that, like with us, like that money, the fact I got a raise because I was an essential worker, this, that, and the other. I'm like, dude, being a fucking low-life touring musician, you learn to live on nothing.
Yeah.
And, again, growing up on the farm, you learn to be a little more self-sufficient. So this time period, I've done better. It has. There is a feeling of guilt. There's a feeling of...
absolutely.
But at the same time, if I got whatever extra money I got, somebody needs some fucking smokes, or we can fucking grill us up some food for some people, trust me, we do it. And whatever we can do for anybody, we try to fucking do it, man. But yeah, this time period, and there is that weird satisfaction of watching people who did, fucking, and it's not their fault, they were brought up in this consumeristic society where your car and your house and your stupid fucking job is your status in life. And so they got pregnant on credit. Now they can't afford this lifestyle. Well, you're going to lose this stupid fucking truck, and you might have to downsize your house. And that sucks. And that's, I don't know if that's right or wrong. That's probably part of their fucking plan here. But at the same time, watching people get a little slice of humble pie, watching some of these fucking bars here that are so exclusionary, you know, fucking don't let certain bands play, think they're real cocky, they're the fucking cock of the walk, now they're fucking, you know, it's to watch some folks get humbled, but folks like us, we're like, damn, this is not that bad. We know it's like a fucking tour, you know?
Listen, I got to take a piss, so I think I'm going to play one more of your tunes. If you want to stay on line, I still have some shit to ask you about if you want to hang out for a minute.
Yeah, I can do that, bro.
All right. We're our first pee break here. You still with me?
Oh, am I?
Fuck you.
Oh, am I, Big Daddy?
All right, let me switch back this fucking... Look at this. We'll go back to the butt for a little while. That's the problem with the interview format here, is that as I get drunker, my questions get, you know... Jeremy Kinnison says I need a piss jug. There you go. What the fuck was I going to ask you about? A couple things. You did a talk-over video about basically like the history of Muddy Roots or the lead up to that.
Not Muddy Roots. I was talking about the evolution of what became what I guess we know as the Roots scene.
Yeah, and that was very, very interesting. That's on YouTube?
Yes, it is.
And what's it called?
That was actually on the 10th anniversary of Straight to Hell, because to me that was kind of where it peaked. And then you've seen, and people can argue this all they want, whatever, but in my opinion, it was so much based around Hank Williams III, and, you know, as I talk about the history of that, you know, you had 9 Pound Hammer, and you had the Super Suckers, and you had Social Distortion covering Johnny Cash, but that melding really happened with his act, you know, with that and the Ass Jack stuff. Yeah. And that is where you started seeing what became this version of the Roots scene that we've seen the last 15, fucking 20 years, whatever.
For me, the Oh Brother, Where Art Thou soundtrack was like kind of a
That's a big one.
You know, like, holy shit. Like, what is this?
I think I bring that up in there. I hope I do, because that was huge.
Yeah. What else? Oh, and so you and your wife are writing some music.
Yes, we are. She's sitting here right now.
Awesome.
Crocheting outside.
When are we going to hear that?
We're working on that right now. Like, it's in its infant stages. We are slowly, I mean, like, I don't know about your writing process, but this, for me, one of the reasons I wanted to do it, it's a challenge to me, because usually I fucking sit, come up with my shit, come up with the riffs, and go in and say, okay, guys, play what you want. Here's what the idea is. Here's the lyrics, and we do it. You know what I'm saying? Like the 4 St. Christopher Webster albums and the 3 motherfucking Saints albums, that's all my lyrics. And then, like, you know, the band stuff, me and my brother I'm like, here's the lyrics, here's what I got, we just did it.
And that was the motherfucking Saints with you and your brother Ben Webster?
Correct, sir.
And it was just 2-piece?
No, it was, we had for a while, we had like fucking cousin playing bass, but at the end of the day, it was me and Ben.
Yeah, that was the heart of the band, yeah, right on.
Yeah, we did do it as a 2-piece, but it was our band, you know, and definitely reflective of us, and definitely reflected, you know, the aggression of, you know, that's a very, if you ever listen to it, it's very, very old school, hardcore, very aggressive fucking music.
Yeah.
The St. Chris shit was, which I never wanted that fucking name, by the way, I hate it, but, you know, everybody knew a million Chris's, and I played some motherfucking Saints, that's how I got that stupid nickname. Yeah. And the thing about that was, if you listen to all the albums, there's no real format to it. It's just music, and it's just ideas. Yeah. And we take very simple shit, but I think it's more complex than a lot of people give it credit for, honestly.
Yeah.
Because you know how it is. Everything just kind of a root, and then we just build around it. You know what I mean? So that's just my stuff. The new project with me and Casey, we're just kind of feeling it out. The cool thing is, what she wants to make it, her vision is sort of a period piece of the, like, going back even to the 1800s, is very much written around the women's viewpoint. Okay. Which I think is cool. I mean, for me, I'm like, what the fuck do I know? I grew up in the country with 3 older brothers and, like, grandpa was a war veteran, and my fucking dad was a railroader. I grew up in the country in Nebraska and everything else. I don't have a extreme fucking grasp on femininity, you know.
Yeah.
But it very much interests me, and so a lot of the writing is because she's new to songwriting. She'll come up with ideas. We come up with a format. So yeah, it is a really cool project. We're kind of describing it as dark Americana,
Nice.
you know, country-esque, blues-esque, but we, you know, it's definitely, it's going to be so much different than anything I've ever done because it's so, it's dark, it's slow, there's none of the social political shit,
Yeah.
and it's female-fronted, so yeah.
Awesome. I'm into it, man.
I'm really proud of it. I mean, what we've got so far, I'm super proud of it. It's so different, and it's, like I said, and having her, she's new to the songwriting process, but you know how it is. If you're smart, you're creative, and
Yeah, absolutely.
you can do it. And so we're just kind of feeling out. The obstacles came in as my lack of ability. You know,
Whatever. I mean, it's the same. It's like you know, that shouldn't hold you back, or you know, you can work on it and get better. You know.
Well, it's more than anything, it's just like anytime I've ever gotten better at doing anything, is just I hear something in my head and I play it. And this is more, I'm so not used to working with a band like this and writing, you know, well, that's what I wanted to. I'm like, I've had, you know, it's usually my act, I'm out front doing my shit, blah, 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 just because nobody would fucking stay with me. That's the reason it became the act that it did, because I wanted to tour and people kept dropping off, so I said, fuck this, I'm going to write it. This is so much more of me trying to be in the background and like letting her have her voice, and then the other musicians coming in, let them give their input, and I'm trying my best to actually kind of stay out of it, you know.
Nice. I think it's interesting to grow like that, where you know you be the front person, you be a backup person, you know, a role player, or you know the guy that takes the shot. Like I think it makes you a better developed person overall if you've done both, you know.
Oh, for certain. And I mean, I didn't, like I said, I never wanted to be the front man. I never wanted to fucking be the guy. I really didn't. I wanted to be in a fucking band. You know, I really wanted that. And I still want that. And I consider, you know, when anybody is in the band we're playing, it's their band. It's not mine, you know. And this project, you know, I'm just like deferring everything, trying to say, here, you guys do this. I'm trying to lend whatever ability I got. But, yeah, the songs, like I said, that one, I posted that one. I never usually post shit or tell shit before we do it, but I figured, you know, the times are hard and stuff, and I wrote that song about my grandma, who was pretty much my fucking hero. You know, my grandpa came back from World War II. He was a mess. And me and Casey worked for months on that song trying to get it right. And I'd write something, she's like, you're fucking still writing about your grandpa. We need to write about your grandmother's perspective. So it's a lot of me going, here's an idea, or her saying, here's an idea, or, you know, that one was so personal that she did a lot of input of think more about grandma, think more about where she comes from. So definitely from more of a female perspective. So I'm trying to challenge myself, and it's been a healing process. It's helped me grow. And, yeah, I think it's haunting. I think it's I would dare say the first thing I've ever made that's I'd call beautiful. You know?
Wow. All right. That's amazing. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, so I appreciate you listening, man. I'm fucking so excited. Honestly, I'm super stoked. And it's kind of like when I transferred from Motherfucking Saints to what I did there. There was people that hated what I was doing, and that's fucking okay, man. That's all right. It was a big fucking transfer, and it was a big growing process. And here I am, damn near 40 years old, and I want to keep growing and learning. And she's teaching me as much as I'm showing her some guitar stuff, the little I know. And we are writing some really, I'd say, some beautiful, haunting, dark shit that I'm really proud of.
I can't wait to hear it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I think I had more questions, but I'm a little bit boozed now. How you feeling? How you feeling?
Me too. Oh, dude, I'm about fucking 8 deep right now on several fucking Hewitt rails, so I'm doing good.
All right. I think you got started a little bit before me, but yeah, these Natty Lights. All right. Have you ever seen? All right. How do you feel about Soundgarden?
Oh, I've seen them once, and they were pretty good, and the old shit's pretty fucking cool.
There was the remember the MTV Video Music Awards used to be a big deal.
Yeah.
I remember like mid '90s. This was like when I was living in New Paltz, playing in like a. I answered an ad for a Drummer Wanted Rancid Mudhoney Fugazi.
Yeah.
And I met some friends that I've had for the rest of my life. We started a band called Hauler. But we were living in this like little like not squatter house, but it was pretty like college dilapidated. And we're watching. I think Soundgarden had just won the Video Music Award for Black Hole Sun. Right?
Yeah.
And that's right after Chris Cornell cut his hair.
Sure.
So he goes up, I think he's got a blazer but no shirt on underneath. But he's looking pretty Hollywood, and he
looking
does
sexy as fuck.
He does yes, very much so, but he does the speaking. Kim Thiel, I don't even know if that's how you say his last name.
Right, I know what you're talking about though. Great guitar player.
He walks up. He's wearing like this fucking threadbare T-shirt, and he just stands behind him. He's drinking a Natty Light on fucking stage at the MTV Music Awards.
Sweet.
And just fucking, I'm like, you are the biggest fucking rock god I've ever seen. You know, like, I tried to find a video before this. I tried to watch it as inspiration before I started today's episode.
Yeah.
But you could only find before and after videos of them being interviewed, and the same thing. They do the guitar player is just he's an asshole in all the interviews. Like Chris Cornell is kind of trying to be funny, and Kim Thiel is just like at one like Kurt Loder is like, "Oh, are you excited for any of the other bands tonight?" And Kim Thiel's like, "No." And Kurt Loder's like, "Well, what about Green Day?" And Kim Thiel's like, "I don't know, man. Maybe after they play, I'll think differently, but no." It's just like, fucking, boom, roasted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Badass.
Yeah, it's fucking great. I don't know. It's fun. All right, dude. I love you, and I thank you so much for being on.
I sincerely appreciate it. I love you back, man. You know it.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I don't know. It's cool to have friends like yourself, man. Family like yourself. It's cool. You know. And it's cool that, we fucking disagree on shit, and that's fucking okay.
Exactly. I mean, critical thinking, or, like, I don't know shit, so people should teach me. If I'm wrong about something, tell me that I'm wrong. Don't just tell me that I'm wrong as a person because I think something. Tell me why, like, we should all learn. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, we don't have to, that's the idea. You don't want to surround yourself with a fucking bunch of people that are just agreeing with you to agree with your kissing your ass. It's not healthy. It's not productive. It's not how a family works. The family, we work in dysfunction. I always tell people that this is a group. What brought us together is we come from something drove us here. Music was all we had, and it's grown into something different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm proud of the family I got. I'm proud to know you, and I'm proud you're doing this. And I really appreciate you giving us a voice up here, fucking in Michigan. I mean, Ralph from Rusty Knuckles hit me up, and he said, "Fuck, I'm watching your shit, and they're getting the real story from us. Not that I fucking know anything.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you the lens from where I'm at,
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm trying to have some different states on,
For sure.
We had Husky down in Georgia. We had Scrimmy up in New Hampshire the week before that.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
Try to see what, because New York's a weird place where, it's, I don't know what the fuck's going on anywhere else.
For sure. Yeah, we live in a vacuum, man. We live in it's our own worldview, because especially now, since we can't do what we've done. We can't travel. We can only talk to each other, and that's, we're very blessed to have each other and have these different perspectives, I feel like, and to have disagreements, agreements, fucking insight, and lots of love, and that's I want to leave it with that, is that I love you, I respect you. Fuck people like Mike Seidler down there in North Carolina, a fucking nurse doing this, man. I have so much love and respect for you. There's a lot of positive shit around this, and fucking goddamn it, people keep talking, keep hitting me up. I'm gonna keep hitting you up. Keep fucking staying strong. Fucking, we can do this, man. So,
yeah, man.
And hey, is Matt on after me?
Matt on's after you, yeah.
Matt from, are you calling him?
What's that? Yeah, I'm going to call Matt Goldpaw.
You tell him and Lara I said hi, and tell him I love him, and can't wait to see them again, okay?
Fuck yeah, man.
All right, well,
I'll do that.
Appreciate you, brother.
Later, bud.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like that might be the most beers I've drank for the first person, so we gotta fucking cool our tits a little bit, you know?